I warmly welcome you to the challenge of completing your exam within a month. It is possible if you are serious. So, how do we do that? How do we achieve exam success in 1 month? There is one assumption, that you have done reasonably your studies. The essential areas you have an understanding and you have gone through, but you are not yet confident. So we see there are a lot of students, they have studied, but I am not confident to do the exam this time. So if you are such a student, definitely, and if you are serious, this is going to help you. You can see the results at the end. What do we need? We don't need anything. We need a blank sheet to start with and your open mind. So you will obviously ask, how do we do that? So don't forget that you have the most valuable intellectual asset in this world. That is your mind. Take our brain. We have logical left brain, magical right. Logical left, magical right. So using this magical right, while auditing seems to be for some students such a complicated, maybe boring subject, but you can make it an interesting storyline. So any difficult concepts you can easily remember like a story. So that is how magical brain can be used to understand the key concepts, which I will show you during next 2 minutes. So then once you know the story, say story of planning an audit, do in this way, it is connected as a story, then when there is a question, you will use your left brain to convert that storyline to a logical argument to answer what examiner wants. And that is a combination of left and right brain. And I'll do that and show you. Take in a minute. See, auditing or any other subject is about businesses. So what happens here, the result of the business is recorded in financial. It is historical. Now see what happens. The first question to ask, like a story, if you want to create that story, who says financial statements are right? When you ask that simple question, the logical answer that should come is assertion. So that means management say sales is complete, accurate, debtors are in existence. So those representations by management, that's assertion. So management says financial statements are okay, and that is the story behind assertion. So similarly, the biggest aspect of auditing is to know about risks. Take 2 business risks which are very much visible to us. COVID-19, what happens? There are order cancellations, customers going bankrupt, etc. Similarly, economic crisis. Companies are struggling to import material, they can't continue operations. Some companies, they want to close down. When these changes are happening in the business environment, we need, as an auditor needs to find out from where these changes are coming, whether these changes are there. If they are there, the next question to ask as a story, should your financial statements change? If there is a customer who can't pay, shouldn't you write off or impair? Should the financial statement numbers be changed? Right? So that question is about risk of misstatement. So when there are business risks, how financial statements are going to be affected, the possibility of misstating financial statements. Then how do we actually know whether these numbers were corrected? For that purpose, you need to gather some information, and that is audit evidence. Then first of all, company should know whether the number has been corrected. For example, let us say due to COVID, there is a stock that you have purchased. Now that customer is no longer there, you need to write off not only your stocks, both stocks and debtors, right? Now, first of all, company should be aware to track this customer, track these stocks. If they do that, you are happy because you can test the control as a part of your audit evidence. So thereby you can know whether the company knows there is a problem. So that is test of control, right? If the company doesn't know what has gone wrong, auditor should design procedures to detect that misstatement, and that is substantive procedures. So the story in summary, you need to have a process of identifying what could affect financial statements to materially misstate. That's the risk assessment process. And to find out whether numbers to be changed, and that process is further audit procedures. That auditor takes both test of control and substantive and use appropriately that mix. Finally, if numbers were not changed, say that stock value is 10 million, you will ask, is 10 million significant? Yes, then it is material. Secondly, we'll ask another question, is it so serious? You can look at the last box. It's not just serious, so serious is not only stocks, debtors and lot of other customers, company can't pay, lot of problems, so many problems. So that seems to be so serious, right? And that is where we decide if a problem is serious, material, it's a material misstatement. So serious looks like big problem, that is called pervasive. When there is a problem which is material and pervasive, you give an adverse opinion, right? Now let's say the last point, the numbers have not changed, but management explain a problem in the account saying that we can't run the business, there is a problem about going concern. So in the auditor's report, auditor can explain a going concern paragraph. If there is some other risk that is disclosed in the accounts, it may be an emphasis of matter. Now this is just 2 minutes. So like that, any complex topic can be explained as a story, so you can activate always that story. When you see the exam question, story comes. By looking at this slide, I can take in my first session one complete case study using the same story, the entire case to be analyzed and to come up with answers. So how do we do that? It is to directly start with any exam question paper. We'll focus on latest papers. Now see, this is a backward approach. Look at the paper and you already have idea about the concepts, but we are trying to polish it up and see how do we logically connect and to identify what are your weaknesses. So therefore, working backward, what happens very often, students read and go to the exam and fail. You have to test yourself. Now there is a statement saying that test fast and fail fast. Don't wait to fail during the exam. So you have to waste another 6 months of your life. So this working backwards enables you to really, after doing 1 or 2, you will feel, wow, this works for me. Brilliant. If it doesn't work, still we have options. That means you need to really go through these critical concepts. So for that, there are highly exam focused sessions. So the beauty of this course is that you don't need to join live at a particular time. Anytime you can watch, but these are highly customized sessions for serious students, a series of sessions that can be covered within a month, with some workload being given to you, which I will summarize at the end. So what? It is now clear, past paper together with essential theory to cover all critical topics, starting from audit planning, evidence together, and then critical areas like reporting and other aspects like assurance, engagement, etc. So questions are carefully selected to cover all the key topics, and then not only that, there is one powerful diagram to summarize any complex topic. So it will be a collection of diagrams that when you look at it, the entire session comes to your mind. So in summary, what we do is, say during the very first session, don't just watch. You listen. While you listen, you analyze, because you can stop it. Analyze. Write your notes. Being very active in a very short session, maybe maximum 1 to 2 hours. Right? All case studies. And after that very first session, in that session you can hear what is going to be the next session. And anyway, you will have the series with you, but don't watch the next session without you preparing your own answer. That's the second point, right? You have to work with yourself. Don't just watch only lecturer sessions. If you don't work with yourself, you are going to be in trouble at the exam. So work with yourself, meaning before watching the next video, sit with discipline, write your answer in bullet point for this question, say whatever paper that you want to take, write down your answers, watch the video, see how I am analyzing the case and showing you how to build the answer. Be your own examiner to criticize and see, I have failed, I don't know how to explain this concept, I don't know. Now go backward and brush up your knowledge. See, there is a statement about overall maturity level, performance maturity level, I don't know. You have to go back and fill that gap and come for the next session. So like that, when this cycle is repeated, each of the repetition is going to add knowledge. What is missing? It's going to make you stronger, and the possibility of passing exam increases when you repeat. The more repetition you do, better. So during the next session, this point was already said, you are criticizing, identifying your weaknesses, and you know you don't watch the third session until you bridge the gap. When it comes to the third answer, you are writing, and you will again write and say you are happy because the way you are thinking, the story how you have connected with bullet points, very much matching with the standards which is required. And that's the way we are going to do. And remember, not only that, so this, as a part of this, I am planning to give you kind of a toolkit. By looking at it, you will know all the key concepts, right? All critical concepts, to put it in that way, and what do you mean by that, which will really help you to drive exam questions. So that makes anything that you think impossible to make it possible, especially within a period of like that. So point of caution is, don't just take this for granted. This is for serious students who really wants to activate themselves now and to start aggressively working towards target. So with that, let's get ready to start and activate your energy that anything, right, is possible. We'll start with our first session.